Also in Europe, NATO Secretary General says he's convinced the Syrian government did use chemical weapons. He insists a dangerous signal will be sent if the world does not respond firmly. However, CCTV's Jack Barton reports from Brussels, NATO has ruled out a role for the organization in any potential military strike.
The head of NATO says he now has no doubts about what happened in Syria last month and who is to blame.
I have been presented with concrete information. And without going into details, I can tell you that personally I'm convinced not only that a chemical attack has taken place. I think everybody has seen the horrendous images from Syria. But I'm also convinced that the Syrian regime is responsible.
NATO's chief insists a failure to act will send what he describes as a dangerous signal to dictators. But Rasmussen has ruled out a NATO operation.
I would envisage a very short, measured, targeted operation. And you don't need the NATO command and control system to conduct such a short, measured, tailored military operation.
It's looking more and more likely that if the US Congress backs a military strike, it will be largely an American affair.
If there is a use of force in Syria, I think the US is prepared to go it alone. And in fact, operationally, we don't probably need others to contribute. But in terms of an international mandate, political will, it really does matter what the international community thinks and does. And there, when Europe sits on the sidelines, it's not encouraging to Washington.
Europe's support has withered, though France is still talking tough with a caveat. French President Francois Hollande has made it clear that if the US does attack Syria, France will be by its side. But if the US Congress says no, France will not go it alone. It's not just potential political allies that are nervous. Without exception, polls across Europe reveal a war-weary populace that is overwhelmingly against military intervention in Syria. Jack Barton, CCTV, Brussels.